Hey guys, TYT Sports, it's Ben and Francis to talk Group G.
Group G.
Which is, near as I can tell, the third group, which you've referred to as the group of death.
Yeah. I like to change between what groups I think.
But this is obviously, any group that has Germany and Portugal is a tough group to crack the top two. And then this group gets all this extra attention because it's also got the United States. Could the United States find a tougher group to play in? Maybe not.
I think if you were to handpick teams in this competition, you probably couldn't have picked a harder opponent than Germany, Portugal and Ghana. But not only because Germany and Portugal had great teams, but Ghana seemed to be the United States' worst opponents. They put them out usually.
I was looking at the odds, the gambling odds for it. And the U.S. to win the group, which is almost certainly not going to happen, is 9-1. Ghana's just 10-1.
Yeah. And
the likelihood is that the odds are inflated a little bit for the U.S. because people want to bet on them.
Exactly.
So theoretically, when I look at that, I think the U.S. is probably the fourth best team in this group, at least according to odds.
Yeah, well,
makers.
if you're going, as I like to go between the facts, going on previous competition, the United States, their odds in this tournament are probably about right. I mean, between them and Ghana, a lot of fans out there who watch the show are talking about how Ghana are going to be the team to beat Portugal out. And I would have to agree, but I want to keep United States' hopes alive because anything can happen in the World Cup.
Well, we're going to talk mostly about the top of the group here, but very quickly, and I know you've talked about it before, if the United States doesn't advance, if they do poorly, if they lose all three, or they go 0-2-1 or 0-1-2, something like that, the talk will be instantly among many pundits that, oh, well, what if Landon Donovan had been on the team? Is that relevant? Is that...
I mean, it's always relevant, a decision like that blew up Twitter, Facebook, everything, and I had my own views on it if you watched my show and talking about it. I think that he would be valuable for experience-wise. I mean, he doesn't have to be in every game. He's an older player. He doesn't have to be always on the field, but he did have... He's got experience.
It's called the pitch.
Yeah. Is that a pitch? Okay, he's got a bit to put his input on it. He's known the World Cup. He scored goals in it, and he scored valuable goals in 2010. So I think he would have been valuable just to have there. But we've got to just talk about who he would have been up against. I mean, would he even have input up against the likes of Germany?
So who's your pick to win the group?
So Germany are my pick to go through in the group. They banged in the most goals qualifying for every year. 36 goals. Yeah. Yep, Ben, you're good with the facts, by the way. I mean, you're keeping up to date with these. 36 goals. Guys like Manuel Neuer, who's the #1 goalkeeper, and who people argue is the #1 goalkeeper in the world. Germany always have great goalkeepers. Oliver Kahn, Jens Lehmann, these guys are good goalies. Manuel Neuer follows in this footsteps.
And they brought back a lot of veterans from 2010, where they had a very good run.
Yep.
But they've also mixed in a lot of young guys with those veterans.
It's like, I like to say, it's like they're cloning these guys. They're making guys that are based on the guy likes a Schweinsteiger, but cloning these new players who are young and can come in and put in fresh legs even if Schweinsteiger gets injured. There's a guy called Toni Kroos who plays for Bayern Munich, who is like Schweinsteiger's younger brother, looks at thing. He plays very similar to himself, slightly more attacking. So you have your veterans that are returning. It's funny to call them veterans because they're not even that old yet. I mean, but they're veterans of the World Cup. Schweinsteiger.
I heard you mention this when we did an earlier group that sort of, you know, baseball for a long time thought the key years were 27 to 32. It looks like it's a little younger than that probably in baseball. Is it true for...
No. I think, well, people are breaking these boundaries. Like guys like Andrea Pirlo, who I love to talk about, is breaking these boundaries, 34 years of age, and he's still phenomenal. And he's playing better as he gets older. So you've got guys like Schweinsteiger coming in, but as all the fans out there online like to point out to me, I'm not forgetting Marco Reus, a youngster who's coming in from Dortmund, and he is exciting to watch. So you get guys like Reus, Götze, Schürrle, all these new guys that are coming in Germany are exciting. I mean, I have said that I think Brazil are going to win it, but if there's going to be a team that's going to put them through their paces, it's going to be Germany. So
surprisingly, to a layman, the favorite is not the team that has maybe the best player in the world.
Yeah, you're right there, Ben. Cristiano Ronaldo is I'm not going to argue with the critics out there. I think he's the best player in the world at this moment. But there's been talk he's got tendinitis in his knee. So will that hinder his performance in the Champions League final? As I've done another story on this. He didn't perform to the best of his ability, and the players around him, like Gareth Bale and Di Maria, these world-class players, carried them through. Will Portugal be able to do that if he doesn't perform?
It sounds to me, the way you talk about Ronaldo, talk about Portugal, that it's a little like the Oklahoma City Thunder in the playoffs last year when they lost Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
A team that has Kevin Durant as its star can beat anybody on a given day, but long-term, game after game after game, one player is not going to carry you through against this level of
competition.
competition.
Absolutely, and to try and talk to the fans out there about a little bit of my basketball knowledge, LeBron James went out of the game last night for the Spurs, and they looked like no, I mean against the Spurs, against the Spurs, they struggled. That's similar what can happen with Ronaldo. I think if Portugal go out, if they lose him, or even if he isn't performing at his utmost best like he did in qualifying to take them through, Portugal could struggle up against the likes of Ghana, who have got great players to go through.
I was going to say, 15 seconds are left. What kind of a team what kind of a chance does Ghana have?
They have a great chance. I think they have a great chance. Depends on first game, Ghana, USA. The winner of that game can put up a good fight if Portugal lose against Germany, which I think Ghana and USA will be counting on Portugal to lose against Germany and then give them a chance, because I think Germany are going to cruise through.
The key game in this region sounds like if Germany beats Portugal, then the winner of the US and Ghana's game against Portugal is the key game in this group.
That'll be the key game, USA versus Portugal. You called it, Ben.
Francis, thank you.
Thank you very much.